Hi and welcome to my 56th Trig Walk. I'm having to redo this again because I did it a couple of weeks ago with my dad and none of it actually recorded. So I'm doing it with my two kids. First time they've actually been out on a walk with me in absolutely ages. So start off again at Tugby. I know I'll say again, we haven't actually seen the first video, but we're starting off at Tugby. We're going to be visiting the church, looking for the benchmark again, and then heading off over to Millfield Clump to have a look at the Trig Point around there. So let's get going. So let's see if we can find the benchmark. I think I remember where it is. I know it's around here somewhere. Oh, Emily's found it. So that's the benchmark at the church in Tugby. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's St Benedict's Church. As you can see, my kids are so excited to go for a walk. Emily's been forced to wear a rucksack. But first of all, we're going to go inside the church. Got a nice little garden here. And let's see if the church is unlocked. Some nice carvings, probably very medieval. Oh, there's a sign there, WD. But can't see anything else around here. I take it that's going to be the stonemasons' markings. Well, I got the church name wrong. This is St Thomas and Becket Church, Tugby. Dedicated to Thomas Becket, the Archbishop of Canterbury, murdered in 1170, is a church that has watched over the village of Tugby for around 800 years. Just imagine that, generations have sat here and prayed, and like many old English villages, this once would have been a place full of superstition. Local wise women or healers often lived in the village like this, respected by some, feared by others, and sometimes whispered about as witches. No named Tugby witch survives the records, but the folklore absolutely fits the landscape. But as you can see, there's some nice stained glass windows. This actually looks like it's a bit of a cross there, added at a later date. Probably a bit of graffiti or something like that. But, yeah. Henry's coming in, is he? Not many gargoyles in here, but there's some at the top there. But still in the search for the green man. There's some interesting ones here. One day I'll learn all that, like the nave. I think we've been to this church before, because that's not the dollar sign. I always thought it was the dollar sign, but it means something about Jesus. Very nice little flower arrangement. We've even got like a little kitchenette. Don't know if that's for the general public. So if you're going for like a walk, welcome to the church. Yeah, I'm sure if you want to get yourself, you can help yourself. Just leave a donation. And what's this? Tugby and Keythorpe through the ages. I wonder if you can actually buy that. £9.99. Get that for me your own. But this is a very nice church. I'll just go down this side. More about Noah. Nice little Sunday club display. And there's the organ. So there's another like a little private chapel area. And there's the organ. Don't know what's behind there. It's not going to be the church bells. In fact, I don't know where the church bells are. Probably down through there. I think that's where the tower is. But I'm sure my kids are getting a bit bored now, so we better get going. Our first village is Tugby, a settlement recorded in the Domesday Book of 1086, so people have been living here for nearly 1,000 years. The name likely comes from Old Norse of English, meaning something like Tugger's settlement. So just been talking to a local and just been mentioning that this house here used to be the old bakery. Around this area used to be the industrial area. Probably have like a little smithy at the top there. What's there?
Smithy over there.
So you'd have the smithy over there.
And then you'd have cow sheds up there and things like that.
So that's interesting. And that used to be the old bakery. I suppose that's where they had the deliveries. But it's handy talking to the locals. They didn't want to be on camera. Where's the old pub?
That's the old Black Horse pub. That used to be.
Some lovely cottages around here. That's a bit strange. You've got two lots of different brickwork on here. A bricked up window, Tudor style beams. And this is another thing that I like looking for, Emily spotted. It's the old hand pump. Who's going to see whether it's working? Is it working? No. Straight away you can see why Tugby's got some nice houses in here. You got the Gullivers. You got Hazelrig Farm. I think Hazelrig is named after somebody famous around here, but that looks like an old Georgian farmhouse or manor house. But we're going to be heading straight down here, like absolutely gorgeous around here. Loads of grade 1 and grade 2 listed buildings. But we're heading to the end of Tugby along Main Street and down through a gate down here. I shouldn't have to follow me map today. There's a little well. So we're heading straight down here. Straight away, once you get to the end of Tugby, you can see the countryside opening up. This is basic classic Leicestershire countryside, rolling ridgeways, open fields, quiet lanes, old hedgerows and long distance views. It might not shout at you at the like the mountains do, but there's a quiet beauty, and if you stop and look properly, it's packed with history. Much of this landscape was shaped by centuries of farming and enclosures. Some of these field boundaries may follow lines laid out hundreds of years ago. There are subtle ridges in the fields known as ridge and furrow, often the remains of medieval ploughing. Imagine that still visible after all this time. We're heading towards Rolleston across open farmlands and old estate tracts. These quiet paths often feel ancient, and in many cases they probably were. So we came across our first yellow way marker and we're heading down here. Wonder what wildlife is actually in this field. Just saying that, and there's a pigeon. Hopefully a wood pigeon. You're not going to get an urban pigeon round here. Emily's pointed at something. A bird. But we're heading this way. This crop's coming along quite nicely. Looks like it might be wheat. As you can see along here, this is the old ford. And they used to cross over there, but we've now got a modern bridge just over there. I don't know how deep it's going to be. Probably going to be way too deep. And animal print said, but you would have thought they would have gone across the ford. But I don't think we'll get through here. I'm going to give it a little try. Actually, there we are. Shows you what it's like round here. It's quite damp round here, so you get the old fungus. But that's an interesting bit of, quite like that. So I've just been corrected. This is fungi, but there's 3 here, so it's funguses. So here's another yellow way marker, so we're going in the right direction. So just follow this track. This route is dead easy to do. So as you can see, we're still on the yellow way marker, so we know which way we're going. Because I've done this walk the other day, don't actually need my map. But if you do want to see, do one of my routes, I do leave the OS map link in the description. So if you want to do it, all the information's there. So this is quite handy. There's a footpath sign here saying don't go straight ahead, you're going across the field. So we're going this way, if I can actually show, or the kids are going the way. It's a shame this. I did this walk about a fortnight ago with my dad, and I went to edit it, went to download the files to edit. They'd all gone. I had checked that I'd actually been filming it, and it had all been filmed, but when I got home, they'd all gone. I think there's a path through here. I'm not too sure whether we're going the right way or not. I think we had to go through the field, but because I'm not using my map, we're going around the edge of the field. Let me just check my map. So this is the way that we should have gone. I thought I knew it, but straight over here. So we're heading in this direction. So a slight little mistake. So we could have actually kept to the route that we're doing. It took us around the edge, but I wasn't too sure, so we're going to go this way. Yeah, so it's just going through here. So with all this rain that we've had in the sun, everything is on sports mode for growing. So we're now going into the shade. Well, it's very nice all around here. I've had to do a walk twice. I'm glad I'm doing this one twice. The last time we did this walk, we came into this field and all the sheep were still there, and they all came after us. Not after us to eat us, not like zombie sheep, but all came after us thinking we were the farmer about to feed them. The sheep are still here, although they're moving this time. The sheep's coming over to say hello. The international sheep language. I think it's going to be sick all over me. Hello. Last time we came along here, the birds in this woods, it was amazing. I got Merlin app and it kept showing you all these different birds there. But this is Crow Wood and there's nothing in there today. You can just about hear something. So quiet. That's one of the nice things when you go for a walk. You hear the wildlife, the sheep, the birds. You just see the countryside away from the cities and that lot. I know some people are allergic to the countryside, but it's actually quite nice getting out. Emily's got her own trekking poles. I think they're Stick 2000. We're just coming up to the sign where you got Gopi and Rolleston. We're just going to turn left and take a little look down at the lake. So just here, as you can see, again, this is estate land with the roads, the painted gates. So you've got Gobi to our left, which we're not going to go to yet. Well, we're going to be walking by it, and Rolleston just up there. But we're going to be heading this way, just down to the lake. There's a strange story down here about a mother and her daughter being drowned and dumped in here, being accused of witchcraft. I don't know whether it's actually true or not, but it would actually be interesting to see something spooky around here. So this is the lake. Very nice lake. The only thing you see on here now is ducks. But I think Emily's calling it break time. I think that's a damsel fly. That's nice to see, a damsel fly. I don't know what it's actually going to look like on the camera. I used my phone this time, but the glass was getting it all confused. An old-fashioned street lamp. Don't know, two little street urchins near the Goldsmith cottages. But there's a street light. Spoils all that fun for the hen. But we're heading up this way. Nice bit of honeysuckle on that cottage. Look at those windows. Those windows are absolutely gorgeous. It looks like the old conkers. I think these are conkers. I'm sure somebody will correct me. Looks like something's been eating them. Much of what you see today dates back from the 13th century, though many parts are much older. Built from local ironstone, it glows beautifully in the right light. One of the most peaceful rural churches that somehow feels outside time. Standing here, it's easy to imagine the medieval villagers gathering every Sunday, year after year, century after century. The benchmark, I've been here, I've seen this one 3 times now. So here it is. So I don't know if I've had to see that 3 times. And that's Rolleston Hall. Just there. This looks like the old stables, and that's to get into the manor house. That looks like the staff entrance. Something there to scare the kids. No idea what it is. Sounds like a bird trapped or something. Making a right fuss. Is it a pigeon? Don't know what it is. Looks like it's escaped. But as you can see, this is very much estate land for Rolleston Hall. We're heading down towards Noseley Hall eventually. But you've got these street lights dotted about. Gives it a very 18th century feel. Then we get up to the gate up here and turn left. Area, we've got time for New Inn and 3 gates. We're eventually going to be going to New Inn, which is 3/4 of a mile. So we're turning left down here. So here's Rolleston Old Stables. Looks absolutely gorgeous around here. Okay, it's very well kept around here. But when you look at that house, the brickwork on there and the windows. Not too sure what that is. Might be like a shelter for the sheep or animals. But let's have a quick little look. Might be a well. Let's have a look. Well, there's water down there. So it might be a well. Bit wet round here. Bit squidgy. I think that's going to be a well. Not too sure what these are. I think they might be French partridges. Or turkeys, I don't know. Interesting. I'd love to know what those are. Very cute. Don't think we can get any closer than that. I take it that's going to be the mother and daughter. There's a sheep and its lambs just chilling. I think that one's sort of fast asleep. It's picked its ears up. Oh, where's everybody going? Just up there's Home Farm. We're coming to the end of Rolleston Parkland, and that's the gatehouse for the area. And we're going to be coming down onto Harbour Road and turning left. So now coming onto Harbour Road, and I just think we've just gone through New Inn. We're going to keep on the left hand side here for a bit. It's not so busy than when I walked here with my dad. We're going to keep on the left hand side here, go through the lay-by, then going to cross over. So once you've left Rolleston Hall and the grounds, we come to Harbour Road. You turn left on Harbour Road. We're going to follow down here until you see a signpost. I think we're on this road for about 15 minutes. Then we turn left and head towards Noseley Hall and Noseley Medieval Village. So when you come to the sign that says Fox and Goose, and you've got the New Inn Lane, we're crossing over and it's signposted Noseley and Goadby. We're heading to Goadby, then we're almost back. So this is going to be a lot quieter along this road. So at the end of this road, you'll come to a sign that says 3 gates, the Langtons and Market Harbour. We're going to be turning left here, and it's signposted for Noseley, Goadby and Tugby. So we've really got 3¼ miles to go, then we're finished. So it's a nice simple little walk this. As you can see, the roads along here are a lot quieter. Just down here is Noseley Medieval Village. There's not really a lot to see, but there never is in these sites. But we might be able to see some indentations and that lot. And then while we're here, we'll stop for a little brunch. Okay, for deaf people, my daughter's going to say hello. So go on then, Emily, say hello. My name is Emily. So Emily's doing a quick little hello, my name is me. So it's so nice out here when you see the rolling countryside. No warehousing, just fields and country lanes. More open countryside. Hard to believe that probably one day they'll be building on here. But we're coming up to the medieval village in about another 2 or 3 minutes. If you've been walking along this road for a bit, you'll come to a horseshoe, which is a bridleway, and the yellow marker sign. This is just down here, it's where Noseley Medieval Village is. So we're just going to head down here and have another break because it's quite warm and have a look around the village. We're now at Noseley in the old medieval village. You can't really see much about it around here, but during the enclosure period, landowners realised sheep were more profitable than people. So villagers were moved out, homes disappeared, and much of the medieval village was lost. By the early 18th century, the population had reportedly fallen to just 2 people. That is astonishing. Somewhere beneath these fields are the remains of the vanished community. If you notice bumps, banks or strange undulations in the ground, that may be all that survives. So after that slight detour looking at Noseley Medieval Village, we're back out on that road again. That'll put the name of it on. And we're heading down to Millfield Clump now. So we should be there, I reckon, about half a mile. And you look how gnarly and all the knobbly bits on there makes you wonder, how old is this tree? Has that been pollarded and chopped down and bits fallen off for it to look like that? But I bet that tree is goodness how many 100 years old. And look at that, got number 12 on there. One of it just naturally looks like that, or one of somebody actually put tree number 12 on there. But as you look up there, I bet if that tree could talk, it could tell you something. Just over there is Noseley Hall, home of the Hazelrig family since 1419. That's over 600 years of one family ownership. Extraordinary. The present hall is largely Georgian, but it sits on a much older medieval site. Beside it is a surviving medieval chapel, one of the oldest reminders of the original settlement. It's a remarkable place. A shame that we can't actually get in there. This is going to be my second time for doing this trig point. As you can see, the gate is open this time. When we did it last time, it was locked. So we're going to get down there. There's actually an entrance to the side. So we're going to go down there and get the trig point. But also, I noticed last time we came here, there's actually a benchmark. There it is.
Yeah.
We're now walking down Back Drive. This is another one of those estate roads. And if I remember rightly, the benchmark is just down here. As you can see, it's a lovely tree-lined road. And in front of us, if you could see it, near that sand pit, is the trig point. This is Millfield Trig Point. As you can see, the spider's in place. The benchmark's in place. It's in good condition, a bit on the tilt. And I think it's now time to go. As you can see, we didn't actually do anything, so after a little walk down there, it's time to get going. That was my 56th trig point. I did this last time with my dad, and hopefully it will save this time, because I don't fancy doing it for a third time, even though it's a very nice walk. This would highly recommend anybody doing this one. But it's now time to head back to the pub and have a nice pint. My kids basically chilling. I can never get a nice photo of family. Just walked past a load of little baby trig points. Missed all those. On today's walk, there's quite a lot of road walking, but luckily it's on quiet country lanes. You see the odd car which moves out the way for you, but it's not far before it at the bottom of Godby village. Then we'll be going back onto the country lanes again. So here's a nice little stream that you could probably paddle in, but it looks a little bit on the murky side, probably the runoff from the fields. But now we're walking through Godby Woods. I think this is Godby Woods. It's actually nice to feel the shade. But as you can see, at Godby, I can't remember what it's called. They've actually got a plague pit in there during obviously the plague. Did try to find out where they're all buried, but we couldn't find it. So after walking along Palmer's Lane for about half a mile, 3/4 of a mile, you'll come to the other road that comes from Godby, which is actually called Tugby Lane, which is that. But on the left-hand side, you'll see a yellow way marker. And we're going through here, and this is a nice little shady spot if you want to take a little break, kids. So nice little coppice around here. And it's going to be across the field and back to Tugby. So it's actually nice to get off the road now, and we're on the last stretch back to Tugby. Henry's got his hiking sticks out now, so trekking poles out now, so he's way ahead. So as you can see, what a lovely day, what a lovely scenery. And got the hedges, the wildlife in there, the birds, the flowers. We seem to have a cow, sort of just guarding. It's like a guard cow. Basically, it's sat there next to the gate. Hopefully it's not going to do anything. Its calf is just that side. Hopefully that's got nothing to do with her. But it's getting up now. Hello. Come on then. Nothing to see here. Move back. That's it. Good girl. Good girl. Don't go through. Well, all the other cars are coming. This is where the kids locked the gate for me. And all the cows, I won't do anything now, hen. So once you've gone through the field with all the cows in, you come to a gate, and I think I remember rightly, you turn left. You can't turn right because it takes you to the farmyard. And just up there's a pheasant, 2 pheasants. But I've been told I've got to practice with Henry's trekking poles. So we're back in the Leicestershire Highlands again, with all the rolling fields, and it turned out to be a lovely day when you think we actually had a bit of rain this morning and weren't too sure whether actually going to go out for a walk. I actually got some hares. Look at those hares. Well done, Emily. Emily spotted those. They're being very still. Let's zoom into one of them. And there's the other. Let's zoom out. Blow your nose in, hen. Let's get them to do something. Wow! Don't scare them. So we're now back at the beginning where we actually started the loop. And we're now going to head to the pub. Back up this path, you're just coming into Tugby again. So we've now done just over 9 miles. And we're not far from the pub. So walking this way back into Tugby gives you a different perspective. You don't realise how quaint these cottages are. There's some absolutely gorgeous cottages down there. That one's for sale. Hereford's. Don't know how much that would go for. But it's absolutely gorgeous. And there, just in the distance, is the church. I was talking to a local resident earlier, and I was on about how somebody bought this house here, and there's a lot of work doing to it, for around about £450,000. They want to get rid of all this area and build about 5 houses on here. Level the ground, pull this wall down. But unfortunately, they say that this wall dates back to Tudor time. Can't quite see it in there, but that's Tudor time. I think that's about 300 years old. Can't really do that, but as you can see, they started demolishing all the land without getting consent, even though they say it is his land and he can do what he likes. I'm sure he can't. I've done about 9.5 miles. We're now at the Fox and Hound pub. Hopefully it's open. We're going to go for a cheeky little pint. Because we're all thirsty after a hot day like today. And the car is literally parked about 200 yards from here. But hopefully the pub's open. Unfortunately it's 3:35 and the pub shuts at 3. So we're going to head back to the car now and see if we can find a pub on the way home. Because we're all mega thirsty. So it's just done 9.75 miles. We've visited the church at Tugby, Rolleston, been down to Nesbury Hall, and got Millfield. I'm so hot and sweaty I can hardly even talk. Millfield Clump, and headed back to Tugby. Unfortunately, the pub was closed, so we're going to go to Cafe Fontu for a cold drink and a little bite to eat. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you again next time. And also, if you are interested in doing these routes, you'll see them in the description. And if you want to come with me or you can recommend any walks, please let me know, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you. Bye.